Hello and welcome to Dodge, Parry and Roll, your fortnightly Australian independent video game existential crisis and whatever the wind strikes us show here in Melbourne, Australia. I am your host, Joshua LaRosa, joined by my dear friend Vinnie Chens. Vinnie, how are you?
I'm good, man. I love how you always manage to screw up a saying wherever the wind takes us.
What did I say?
It wasn't that. That's
Whenever
all
the
I know.
wind gets you there, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I know I'm really bad with sayings. Like, this has been a long
Yeah.
running thing for us, but I
Yeah.
said something else at work. Now I can't remember what it was, but it was along the lines of my old fashioned smooth as a cucumber, but
Oh,
not
yeah.
that.
Smoothie cucumber. That's the all-time greatest.
That's the all time greatest. But yeah, I'm not one for the saying. And I like sayings, and I think I try to incorporate them without proper rehearsal because they're like statements you've got preloaded in your mind. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you've got them loaded. They're like
Yeah.
catchphrases.
I use them to like get a point across. It's like, you know what they say, and then you add that in, and like, oh yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. You know,
So I
they
do
say
that, but I like to say, like, you know what they say, and then get it completely wrong, and then just hope.
And then
that,
you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, no one says that.
yeah. Or they get so distracted by what I said that what I say afterwards gets lost, and then it's like I can get away with saying most things. What are you sipping on
Fair
there?
enough.
Tea? It's a bit late for a tea,
Yeah,
isn't it? 8 o'clock.
Is it? It's a green tea.
Oh, it's a green
with
tea.
honey.
Looks. I was gonna say
Yeah.
it looks a little milky. Looks like there's a touch of milk.
No, there's no milk in here. Look at that. You're see-through.
Pure
Yeah.
see-through. What
Yeah.
type of tea do you drink? Like a
Oh,
not a green tea, like a normal tea. What are we drinking here?
we're drinking a Lipton Black.
Ugh.
What? You're not a Lipton Black tea kind of guy?
No.
What are you, a Twinings English breakfast man?
I'm not. I'm a Delma guy.
Oh, you're a Dilma.
So my wife drinks Lipton Black, and I often call it ashtray water. I'm like, this has got no flavor, no taste, no nothing. She
Oh, it
doesn't
has-
even have a
oh.
lot of milk, so like it's like dark as well.
Yeah.
And I've grown up on the quality stuff, you know, the Dilma. So my wife buys Dilma tea just for me, and she thinks I'm a fancy boy, but I'm not. I'm not stooping to that
fancy man?
level. I'm not stooping.
Nah, Lipton's quality. That is a bread and butter. That is the perfect dunking black tea with a bit of milk. That's the perfect dunking tea.
Never been a dunker.
You know a dunker?
Never dunked.
Oh my god, really? So you're not a. So if you have like homemade like biscotti or like coffee and biscuits, you don't do the dunk?
No, I
Just
like
like
the
your
biscuits
Veggies?
hard and dry.
Okay, nah. See, I'm a nice, warm, soft, and gooey kind of man.
I like things mostly hard and dry. But no, I've never. My wife does like the Scotch fingers, like the dipping of the Scotch
Yeah.
fingers. I don't know. I just feel like it. I don't know. I like to have a sip and then bite into it. You know, like I like the crunch. That's
Okay.
the best part. You're taking away the crunch.
I was gonna say, do you not like the part where like there's like little crummies in the tea afterwards?
No.
You're just not a fan.
No.
Yeah, I get that.
I don't like that. And it's even with tea, like I remember when I was living at my nunna's house, she would, these older European women, they're making like 30 teas a minute, right? They're not mucking around, so they just know how to
Yeah.
smash a tea out. And what would often happen is she would stir the milk that quickly that it would like have bubbles on top of the tea. And my grandfather and my nunna used to joke that it was like she spat in the tea each time. So I have this thing now when anyone makes me a tea, this is such a deep cut, that if it has the bubbles on top, I struggle to drink it. Like I need it
Because
to
it's
not
like
have.
someone spat in it.
Yeah, it just reminds me of like someone went, as they made their tea. This is a very
Could
Australian show, isn't it?
Yeah, very Australian. At least this point.
Well, I'm just trying to think. Is Lipton an Australian thing, or is that I know Dilma's obviously not, but is Lipton an Australian
Lipton-
brand?
I think
Sounds
Lipton's
Aussie.
Australia. Or English, maybe?
I mean,
Are you
tea.
seriously?
Yeah, Lipton.
Yeah. You're gonna say you're UK, English, British even, maybe? That's what I'm thinking. My money's on Britain.
Scotland,
Oh,
1871, when Thomas Lipton first opened a grocery store. There you go.
fun fact.
Fun fact.
You learn something new here every day. Or like
Yeah.
once every other fortnight.
Yeah,
No,
when-
once every fortnight.
once every fortnight when we do.
Yeah.
But thank you for checking us out. If you've stumbled across us, kind of like I feel like we're not the go-to place. We're kind of like when you go for a night out, right, and you have a plan to go to a place, and you go there, and it's like, oh, this is fun, but it gets a little stale. You know, it's the same place.
Yeah.
You've been there a few times, but you've had a few drinks, right? So you start stumbling. You might come across a few stinkers, but then you land at this bar that you've never heard of, and you're like, where have you been my entire life?
And we're the bar.
We're that place. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Somewhere in between the shithole and the really good place. We're kind of somewhere in between there. But if you have
rate that.
stumbled, apparently the algorithm likes if you say, please like and subscribe. Hopefully one day we have the little pop-up appearing.
Is it okay? Yep. You're hinting at me to do it. All
That
right,
would be
done.
nice. So if you have done that, we would appreciate it. And let us know your tea habits. You're a green tea type of guy? Are we talking English breakfast? Fancy pants?
French Earl Grey, maybe.
Earl Grey is another tea that I'm aware of. Any others?
Yeah. Chamomile, chamomile is what I like to call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just for the record, this is not a tea channel.
No. I was going to say, what have we done? So we've done some really cool things already on our. We've ranked PlayStation IP. We've done a 2-part episode of Claire Obscure Expedition 33 spoiler cast. We've spoken about the death of consoles as we know it and the introduction of handhelds. Plenty, the golden era of video games was our last episode a fortnight ago. So if you're on our channel, please check it out. But with that, Vinny, what's been going on in your life the last fortnight? Give me something.
Well, I'll give you some like good news, bad news kind of thing. Credits rolled on Hollow Knight Silksong. So
Whoa.
35
gamer.
hours.
Yeah.
So yeah. Look, to be fair, it's only Act 2 out of Act 3. But the credits rolled and it said game completed, so I'm stopping there for the time being. I was getting a bit burnt out putting 30 plus hours into a Metroidvania game.
Yeah.
And we kind of spoke about this when we both played Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
Yes.
Like, it was very long, and like Prince of Persia wasn't as hard. This game is quite difficult, but just the fact that I'm probably putting the game, I could probably take maybe 15, 20 hours to beat. I spent 15 hours of that retracing my steps because I'm so bad at the game. Or the game is so hard.
The runbacks are apparently pretty brutal, like between boss rooms. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate that.
I remember one boss, I kept dying. I spent more time actually running to the boss than I did fighting the boss.
To me, that's bad design. I think I know the early like FromSoft games used to have that was like a famous thing, the run back to the boss. But I just personally I don't find it. I can't come up with a reason why any developer would go, let's not just allow the person to save right before entering the boss room, right? Because you just want to get back to it, right? You want to get into the flow of like remembering the patterns of the boss. And if you're getting distracted and then the more you do it, like if you're anything like me, you start getting frustrated and you try to rush. So then you're getting damaged on the way to the boss room. So by the time you get there,
yeah, it was bad. The amount of times I lost my rosaries dying on the way to the boss. I had to like just force quit the game and just calm down for a little bit, take a little walk, do a quick lap around my bedroom, be like, oh, we've just got to calm down. We'll do it again later. But look,
playing it on the PC?
No, playing it on Switch 2.
Switch 2 runs well.
Yeah. Runs fantastic.
I mean, it should.
It's been a good, It's been a good. My Switch 2's actually been getting a workout, so that's been nice. I've been playing Trails in the Sky demo, which we can talk about that because you've also played and finished the demo, if I'm right?
Yeah. I think before we jump into that, I think I'll touch on Shinobi
we'll talk about that a bit
first,
later.
and then we can tie into Trails before we get into our topics of discussion. But I finished and played through Shinobi on Switch 2. So Switch 2 has been like my ninja machine, right? Ninja Gaiden and then into Shinobi. Really great game. Really good. It's different to Ninja Gaiden, where Ninja Gaiden was definitely more about the flow state of playing, right? Like the main character doesn't have like combo moves. Shinobi's a little different. It has like nearly kind of plays like Guacamelee in the terms of like there's like combos to learn, like light heavy, light heavy light heavy pause, roll heavy, like all those types of different things. And the stages are much bigger too. Like some of the individual stages nearly play as like a Metroidvania, which I actually like. If you're not quite in the mood for like a full-on Metroidvania, I do kind of like the idea of some stages. Some stages are very linear and some are like you're riding a skateboard or escaping and doing like a run while an enemy's attacking you from the side. But then there's some stages that are like mini Metroidvanias within themselves. So there's a lot of backtracking. Yeah, I think I mentioned last time as well, like the art style, the music's incredible as well. I did notice it was a little fuzzy on the Switch too, and I believe it's just been patched. Of course, it gets patched after I finished it, so I can't talk to what that patch has done. But I've been playing. I played, I'd say, 85% of the game in handheld mode. Yeah, great little game. One I'd highly recommend. That and Ninja Gaiden.
Right.
I feel like you should play both. They're very different.
Yeah.
It just happens to be two games as you play as a ninja.
Yeah, fair. Doesn't make them the same.
No,
I get that.
Very, very different. So, I mean, this is the year of the ninja, right? We've got these two. We've got Ninja Gaiden 4 coming out later this year. We had Ninja Gaiden Black 2 in February or January, February this year that I played. So, man, this year is just, again, bangers into bangers into bangers. Like, I was looking at
Really
October, and it was like, Digimon, Ghost of Yotai. There were two others that I'm blanking on now.
Yeah, Digimon is something I'm hyped for.
Yeah, you played the demo.
Yeah, I played demo, finished demo. I played on PS5. I will continue to play it on PS5. I don't think it'll be a PC thing for me. It's nice to just have it as, it's good handheld content, obviously, being a turn-based, but it's something I'm going to play on the big screen. I want to feel comfortable when I play it. It's going to be like those long hours. If it feels like Persona, it's got that Persona formula. But I do like the idea of the way you capture Digimon or code them so you can get your own Digimon. I do like the way they've done that. That's similar to the way they've done it in the Digimon. It was Digimon World on DS, but those were actually the original Digimon story games, but it was a mistranslation.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Fun
Digimon
fact.
World is Digimon Story, right? And it's kind of like Resident Evil and Biohazard,
Yeah.
where it's like the other names.
Yeah. But yeah, keen for that. And then, like I said, play Trails, but little linear, off-topic, non-gaming related. Just my week outside of video games, which I did play a lot of video games.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Well, here comes a little bit of the bad. I really messed up my ankle playing basketball. So we had 2 games of basketball on last week. We had our finals. Oh, sorry, the week before. Yeah, this was the week before. So we had our basketball grand final. We lost by a point.
Ah,
That sucked.
yeah, that sucks.
So I got a silver medal, and I was like, it's hanging up right there, and like just doesn't feel good right now, but it's fine. But we made it to the finals. It was fun. Then the game after that, we got absolutely we got absolutely smashed because I play on 2 teams. And then the game after that, I went up for a shot, landed on someone's foot, ankle rolled away it's not supposed to,
Ouch.
and now I'm out for about 6 weeks with a ligament injury, which is fantastic because guess who has to walk around Japan in 2 weeks?
Of course. Oh no.
Yeah. So that's gonna be a good workout.
You need to rest. You need to do nothing for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know. Yep.
You
I
don't
know.
want to screw that up.
I know, but I always hate it when it's the feeling of like tell you to rest. It's like, well, now I don't want to rest.
Yeah.
It's that classic feeling like, why don't you go clean your room as a kid? You're like, well, now I don't want to clean my room because you told me to. I was actually going to do it later.
Yeah. Now I'm going to make it even more messy.
Yeah, I'm defiant like that.
That sucks.
But yeah.
Can't wait for you to go to Japan.
Yeah,
Really, because
can't
I
wait
just want a window into the shopping experience there. Just like, yes, buy this for me.
Yeah, actually, I got a question for you. What is the best PSP to get in terms of like the original PSP? Model 1000, 2000, or 3000?
I believe the earlier ones had the fault with the battery, where the batteries would expand and eventually blow.
Okay.
I think I had the 1000. The 2000 I thought was good. I think the 3 that's when they get really slim, like they really become really thin.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know, I kind of like a little bit of heft to it. So I really don't think you can go wrong. I think just the earlier models had that risk of the battery faults. For me, it's really about finding one that it's got the like a nice color or a nice version of it. Like I know there's like the Crisis Core version. There was the Peace Walker Metal Gear one that was really cool, hard to get. But I think the 2000 models had a lot of colors as well as the 3000. So if you're interested in like a vibrant blue or a hot pink or something like that, you're probably going to find, I think the earlier ones were like black and silver. and maybe
Yeah, I'm
I
pretty sure
like
there's
white.
2-1.
I like
White was
white.
cool.
Yeah, that's why when PS5 was like white, I'm like, yeah, I can get behind this. It's just
Yeah,
a
fair.
shame that the console's not the, you know, it's no PS3. But yeah, looking forward to your trip to Japan. We're gonna have to try to think. Will we have another episode between now and then, or we might even have to do an earlier?
Might have to do an early
Might
one.
have to do an earlier one to
That's
cover.
it. We're adaptable. We're adaptable here. We
Yeah,
can do what we want.
we do it live.
Yeah.
For me, what's been going on the last 2 weeks? I don't know if last time we had the car or about to pick up the car.
Oh, you got the car?
We've got the car. Well, I don't have it, but I've got it. So we picked it up on a Thursday. Then, obviously, we don't have car seats installed. So we couldn't drive it over that weekend. We had car seats installed on the Tuesday. And then I dropped it off at a detailer to get it ceramic coated and stone chip protected. And it's been there ever since, and I'm picking it up tomorrow.
Awesome.
So
So you have the car. You don't got the car.
Yeah, BYD called me today. Like, how's your experience? I'm like, I've driven it home from the dealership and to a detailer, and that's it. So I'm going away with the family for 2 or 3 nights over the weekend, Sunday to Tuesday next week. So it'll be our first time to actually drive it for more than 5-10 minutes. It's the first time we'll be in the car as a family. So that's happening. That's underway. We got our cameras installed in our house. I think last time we were about to do that, or maybe we're thinking about doing it. So that's been done. Got the guys come out for the side fence. He's given us the quote. He's coming out in about 3-4 weeks to do that. Pavers are where I'm back to that this weekend.
You still on the pavers?
Still in the pavers. I need my father-in-law to be here. I can't what am I going to do?
Yeah, fair.
What can I do? I can't do this.
Yeah.
So he's coming. What can I do, Vinny? So we're doing that this week. Hopefully get most of it done this Friday, and then we'll finish it off the following week, because I've got that next week off leading into the days away, plus a bit of the backyard, and then into PAX with yours truly.
Will be attending. Yes. And Sam will be going.
Yes.
My partner.
I had to. Yeah. Oh, your partner. I had to.
Oh yeah, I met the parents on Sunday.
How was that?
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. I met so I went for her
Oh, actually, is she Italian? Maltese? What is she?
half Italian, half Aussie.
Okay, she's one of those cross ethnics.
Yeah, she's crossbreed.
Where is the mother or father? Or who's the European in the family?
The mother.
The mother. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we went out for Yumcha. Went out with her parents, her sister's partner, and her nephew. And
the parents at this too?
Yeah, parents were there.
Yeah, that's where you can see the Australian influence, because if it was the dual European parents, they're not going to Yumcha. They're going to an Italian restaurant, and you're like, God, if I have to eat one more bowl of pasta, that's all they eat.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. It's all my parents don't even go out to eat.
Yeah, they don't leave the house. Like,
They're like, why would we go out for Italian food? We have Italian food here, and it's better.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a good experience. And then she met my friends on grand final day.
Yeah.
For a barbecue.
Ah,
Yeah.
How was that?
Worlds are colliding.
Worlds are colliding.
worlds
Relationship
are colliding.
Vinny. Friend Vinny.
Yep. But no, everything went well. It was good.
It was good. It will fall apart when she meets me, but at least you've set her up. She's on a good streak. You can only go downhill from there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to it. I think. Did you guys buy your tickets after the cutoff? Like, do you have to collect your tickets there on the day?
Pick it up.
So it's not just me. I'm excited. I got the day off. I haven't gone to a PAX since 2015, 16.
Yeah, since the first one. Yeah.
Since the first one. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's been a very long time since I don't often mingle with the gaming stuff. Like
you're a secret gamer.
I'm going to TGS. I've made it my commitment that the next time we go to Japan, they announced in 2026 TGS has opened. I think they're opening the days to 5 days instead of the 3, so there's more days for the public. So I think the next time we do go to Japan, which I think I was talking to Naomi about it a few days ago, probably once second Bubs, I don't know, 5, Nathan will be 7. I think that's a good time to go back. And I think we'll time it for about October, and I'll get my TGS experience. Perhaps Vinny can join us there in Japan at the same time.
Oh, yeah, sign me up.
Done. We'll make that happen. So yeah, that's all been plugging along. I think that's it. That's all that's really been going on. Work.
Yeah, nice.
The usual. But video games. Trails in the Sky. More. And it's funny, you know how I was saying like October's packed, and I couldn't remember what the other games were? one of the games I actually mentioned when I was talking about ninjas, and that was Ninja Gaiden 4. So yeah, Ghost of Yotai, Digimon Times Stranger, Ninja Gaiden 4, and Mina the Hollower. I don't know if you've been keeping an eye on this game. This is a game developed by Yacht Club, the Shovel Knight guys.
I have heard of this.
Yeah, it's like a top-down, old-school Legend of Zelda. It's made by Yacht Club. They're like, to me, now the indie kind of 2D style game is like, you can find really good ones nearly anywhere. Where back in, what was Shovel Knight, 2011?
That's a good.
2012 maybe? Let's have a look. Shovel Knight. I remember playing this.
You sure some of those graphics are like
2014. It was a little bit later. I remember it was out on Wii U, so I remember it was like around that 2012, 13 kind of period. But 2014, so right after PS4 launched. To me, that was kind of like the pivotal, like 2D indie game, right? Kind of like what we're experiencing now with Hades and things like that. It was originally Shovel Knight, and then it was like Guacamelee. But anyway, they're the games I'm looking forward to in October. So it's really stacked. I mean, it's the 29th of September. I think Final Fantasy Tactics comes out this week as well. If not, it's already out.
Yeah, true. Goddamn.
And obviously Trails in the Sky.
Trails in the Sky.
Which is a great lead in. Yeah. So I'll pass it on to you first. Trails in the Sky, what have you played? How much of it have you played? What are your thoughts?
So I've completed the demo, which was the entire, first chapter of the game?
Yes.
Essentially. Look, I think the game hasn't really hooked me in terms of story yet. Like, I understand that they're braces and they're trying to get the seniority thing. Their dad's gone missing, yada yada. Spoilers. But the characters themselves are kind of very anime, very one-dimensional for what I've seen. You can tell something shady is going on with Joshua, but and also that Estelle wants to smash Joshua. Let's just be serious. Let's just cut that. Just get that weird incestual anime thing out of there.
I think it's a translation thing, because there was a few. I've noticed even there were a few like sentences said where I'm like, that doesn't make sense what you've just said. So
yeah, it
still has that, rough around the edges translation, but there's definitely something going on between those two.
Yeah, but I wonder if it's a little bit campy because it's like a play on the PSP version of the game, or like the mistranslations from back then. That'd be a cool Easter egg if there was.
But I mean, I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
But the gameplay pretty good. I do like the fact that you can switch between live action RPG and turn-based RPG. I think it's fun when you can just wail on the enemy that go into party advantage and then lay out your combo and grind like that. That's pretty much how I was playing. The side mission's pretty focused. Either beat this boss, collect this item.
Oh no, I've lost my cat.
Yeah. I need to replace this light bulb in the street light.
It's the fourth one. Go for it.
Yeah. But no, I quite enjoyed the gameplay loop. Like you said, the battle system I thought was pretty interesting. And you could tell, I think the graphics, the way they've done it is very nice as well. Like quite polished at how the animations and how like they do the finishes and how everything's just really well done. I don't even know how I can say it. It's just like everything's got that little touch of like little finishing touches on it. The way they do their moves, the little voice actings into their moves, the way interacts and animates with other characters. Like, I do appreciate all of that. It's given Tales of Arise, or like, the Tales polish kind of vibes.
I don't know if it's quite there in my, like, from a graphical storytelling perspective. Like, Tales was fully voiced, right? This still has the, like, it will go in and out of voice to text, back to voice, and it throws you off still sometimes. Do you think you'll continue playing, or you're moving on at this point?
I'll play this game. I will, for two reasons. I'm flying to Japan, and then I'm flying back from Japan.
20 hours.
20 hours plus a couple of, because you wanted those cheaper flights. You gotta be waiting around for a couple of hours as well.
Yeah.
So that's solid game time, and that's on the Switch too. So that'll be my flight.
Ready to commit. So have you purchased the full copy or full?
No,
version?
I haven't yet.
No.
I was kind of waiting for something see if I can find it for under. If I can find it for 89, I feel like that's a good price, but
Mm.
I'm not paying $100. I feel like it's just too much.
Yeah, I was kind of I cancelled the physical pre-order because I played the demo, so I played the demo as well, and I wasn't
Yeah.
quite the first few hours in. I was like, I don't know if I want to commit $100 Australian to buying a physical copy of this game.
Yeah.
And fast forward today, I'm 20 hours into the main game.
Oh, you bought it.
And a bit, but I couldn't find a physical copy. So it was actually one of those rare occasions where the digital version on PSN was cheaper than the physical copy. Not by much. It was $84 versus the 99 it would have been for the physical copy. I probably would have paid that little bit more just to have the physical version. But yeah, I'm 19 hours into the game. One thing I'm very much not happy with is that no trophy progress transfers. So I've got like chapter 1 no trophy because it was played on the demo, chapter 2 trophy, and then
Surely they'll patch that.
so I'm like, man, that is going to annoy me. This like I'm not planning on platinuming the game, but like it's really throwing me off. And even like my timer on PSN, it's like 10 hours and then it shows like 7 hours on the demo. The in-game clock updates, it's now showing the full 19, but I'm like, these little things really annoy me. Appreciate the demo though. I think I also tried Trails into Horizon. I tried another Trails game earlier this year and I was just like, this isn't clicking. And to be fair, I had a very similar experience with Trails in the Sky when I kicked it off. Like it very much has that wholesome kind of PS2 era JRPG, like a very Dragon Quest type feel of just going on an old-fashioned adventure. You know, still thus far there isn't a very clear villain. There isn't the whole like we must stop God type thing. From my understanding, the first Trails in the Sky game is very much set up and it finishes off on a very strong cliffhanger. And I'm just hearing too much that the stories of these games are so good. And it has to be more than what I'm experiencing so far. So with that in mind, I'm willing to keep playing. I am enjoying myself though. Like again, 19 hours in a very short period of time. I find myself thinking about the game. I've really fallen in love with the orbital system, which is very similar in concept to kind of like the materia system in Final Fantasy VII. So each character has like this orbital ring where you can actually insert materia or their version of materia, which are linked to the different elements, right? So there's fire, there's wind, water, space, and time. Time, I think the other one is. And each character has their own ring, and like Joshua, for instance, has to have space used as the primary, and then you can add different elements to that. And the way that the magic system works is like every magic spell is basically a formula. It would be like, I need 2 winds, 3 fires, and 1 water to do this one spell. Obviously, there's basic versions like 1 water, 2 fires. You know, 2 fires do a stronger than 1 fire type thing. But the more you play into the game, it all kind of opens up. So I'm really falling in love with that system of kind of going, okay, I want these 2 characters to play in a very certain way, but I want to make sure that they both have access to these certain spells for these, you know, scenarios. So I'll make sure that I've got equipped X amount of fire and X amount of water or whatever to commit to these certain spells that I want to use. Like for instance, there's a spell called Earth Wall, which basically provides invulnerability to everyone in that ring. So I've got access to that by both characters. So the way that the turn-based combat system works is like you'll get randomized kind of abilities. So like you'll land on a turn, it'll be like, hey, your next hit is going to be a critical, or hey, your next magic spell is going to have no cost or no casting time, so you can use it immediately. There are moves to kind of steal the enemies, kind of randomized special abilities as well. So I'm really finding myself falling in love with the combat. The story still, again, is very wholesome, besides the initial question of like, no, there's something going on with Joshua's back history, and that's still part of the story that I haven't experienced yet. That is still the lingering question. That plus, where is that person that I was looking for at the end of the demo?
Yeah.
But besides that, I still haven't come across like the big bad guy with his like anime hair and, summoning a god. Like that still hasn't happened. So I'm interested just to see where it goes. But there is a lot to play. I am going to finish, I think, this game because I am actually enjoying myself. Like I think about the game when I'm not playing it. So it's definitely doing something right. The portal's been amazing. I've played this mainly on the portal.
Handheld gaming for RPGs, it's a game changer. It
Man.
really is.
Yeah. And it's doing that thing, when I spoke about metaphor, and it's kind of like the Atlas Persona games, that vibe of the high school thing just doesn't work with me. This
Yeah.
works, right? It's that different vibe. So I'm finding myself really enjoying this game, and I think the sequel's already been leaked. So I think likely what will happen is like I'm not ready to jump into the entire series. Like I think there's 8 games in the Trails saga that you need to play,
Yeah.
like the 3 Sky games plus Horizon plus Cold Steel, whatever. There's heaps, but I think I'll start with each of these remakes, and I believe up to I think it's called Trails into Horizon or Trails into something. The combat system that they're using here was kind of introduced in its concept in that game. In like
Okay.
so, Trails into Sky 1, 2, 3, Cold Steel don't have this modern combat style. It was all the old school kind of turn-based approach, which leads me to believe that maybe they'll remake all of them to kind of get them all on a similar level of play style.
Yeah. They could do the Yakuza thing where you just reuse assets and maps and everything and then just remake the story with just slightly new and slightly different assets and then just full voice acting. Because when it comes to I'll say this, when it comes to bringing out a game on the same platform annually or biannually, the Yakuza team can just do it, man. Like they do it so well.
Yeah.
Like they know how to make at least a very solid game, hit after hit, and just release it consistently.
Yeah, and
I wish more studios could do it like that.
And these guys are like releasing multiple games a year.
Yeah.
I think this year alone there was obviously Trails in the Sky. I think there was Yeast Cross Trails in the Sky Alternative Saga, which is another game they released, and I believe there's one other game that launched earlier this year as well. So with that in mind, these guys should be able to kind of pump out the remakes leading up into Trails Through Daybreak or Trails. I think Trails Through Daybreak were the ones that introduced the updated combat style. Yes, that's the one. Trails Through Daybreak, right? So that's 2021. So up until that point of 2004, so the Trails in the Sky series, Trails from Zero, Cold Steel, I believe, all are on the older style of gameplay. So if they can remake these once a year,
Yeah.
that's enough. We don't get an Atlas game that often, right? So this can kind of fill that void.
Yeah, for sure. Like Metaphor was the last big hit off for a JRPG that I've played this year. Trying to think of it. Yeah, I think this was. I mean, I'm playing. That'd be 3 RPGs I've played this year. It'd be Metaphor, this, and then Digimon Story. So it's big year for JRPGs.
Yeah.
For me.
So I'm very much liking it. So I'll continue to play it, provide updates as we move across. But I'm like, man, Tactics, Ghost, and Digimon are all within the next 2 weeks, and I'm like, I need to. If I put it down, I'm enjoying it enough where I don't want to put it down, and I'm the type where I can't play multiple games at once. I might be able to squeeze in Ghost because I feel like this is a great companion game as well. Like it's a good palate cleanser. It's good to just be able to sit back on the couch and, throw my podcast on the TV and just, when I'm doing my side quests, I'm doing everything in every region that I can. So I'm really taking my time to level up and things like that as well. So perfect Portal game. Perfect. But I think that's probably a great segue, Vinny. Portal, Xbox handheld, Xbox.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
cool.
making it happen. But an interesting thing happened over the last week or so. And I saw this reported online, and then I happened to check it myself to make sure that this wasn't just like a random glitch on a website. But over the last week or so, EB Games, which is the equivalent to GameStop
Yeah.
in Australia, an Australian video game retailer, Electronic Boutique, I believe it's originally called.
Yeah, they're in multiple places actually. They're actually in the US and Canada. Some of them.
Yeah, I think they're there as well. Have removed the Xbox branding from parts of their website. So when you would go into ebgames.com.au, you would, most of the time be greeted with like, here's everything that's blah, 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 blah. And then here are your options: PS5, Nintendo Switch 2, Xbox, and then, board games, trading cards, blah, 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 blah. Xbox has been taken off that.
Yeah.
And that's come at an interesting time, as it was reported Costco were no longer stocking Xboxes, as well as taking them very similar in a very similar style off their website. And of course, we've spoken about in the past. I know I definitely have around Xbox's kind of falling hardware numbers. They've reported year on year, quarter by quarter drops, somewhere, sometimes anywhere between 20 to 30% quarter on quarter drops. So they're clearly not selling Xbox hardware as they once did. I think they reportedly have sold perhaps 25 to 30 million Xbox consoles since 2020. And that's, if you compare that to PS5, its primary competitor, it's, close to 80 million up until this point. So coming at a very interesting time, Xbox also announced the Xbox ROG Ally X console, or portable PC handheld. Pricing in the US is $999 USD, and then I believe $599 or $499 for the S version, which is their kind of lower end model. But yeah, coming at a very interesting time, right? They've announced very expensive hardware. Their consoles aren't selling, and now we're seeing, I think Costco is the third largest retailer in the world, removing Xbox, and of course here in Australia, EB Games. So, Vinny, there's a lot in there, but what are your thoughts on this? What do you think is driving this decision, and does retail physical stores still matter?
Okay, I'll say this. I don't like the fact that he's lowering. He's getting ready. He's getting ready for my take. I do not like the fact that they've taken it off, quote unquote, like mid, like life of the console, or like it's not really end of life yet. When I think of games that have come out in retail, like Silent Hill F has a physical copy for the Xbox. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of frustrating as a consumer. Granted, I don't have an Xbox, but as a consumer, it would be to have a Series X and Series S and then not have the console. You're giving me a pencil sharpener without a pencil kind of thing. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? This thing is useless without the thing to put the thing in. I'm going to say thing one more time. But it's it's kind of backwards. I mean, what if someone's console breaks and they have a physical library? What they're just going to have to source a secondhand console or repair it? What if there's what if someone wanted to get into the market? You've just really mitigated that. I mean, just go buy a handheld, I guess. But it's frustrating. I think if they would have just said, hey, financial year 2026 to 2027, we're not doing Xboxes, like give people some warning, or we're just mitigating our stock and we're phasing it out after the Christmas period, I think that would have been better. Or just stop manufacturing them, but keep them on the website, because you've now lost the idea. Like, Xbox isn't even advertised on the website anymore for EB Games, but they still sell Xbox games.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's really interesting. I think they've kind of found themselves. It's come at an interesting point, right? Because I think a lot of people, very similar to the conversation of like, are consoles dying, right? That was something that I remember leading into the PS4 generation, was like the hot topic thing, right? The Wii U had failed. PS3 and 360, whilst having a strong generation, it was coming in at a time where iPhones were kicking off and people were questioning the need of a console. Then, of course, PS4 and Xbox One came out, and PS4 sold through, 118, whatever it is, million units. Up until that date, it's probably closer to 125 at this point. But had sold extremely well, and that narrative seemed to have gone away. And then, coming into this generation, PS5 and Xbox Series consoles launched. It was the first generation of consoles where digital SKUs were available. And I remember the digital version of the PS5 was extremely hard to find at launch. Most consoles sold were physical. But then Xbox had this interesting approach where their higher end console, the Series X, had a disc drive, but their Series S, their entry point console, was all digital. In amongst all this as well, it's important to call out Xbox has just raised prices of their consoles in the US as well. So there is that, right? In the American market, the consoles have gone up. So I think what's happened is, I think we're all heading in the same direction, and Microsoft have done this multiple times where they're kind of ahead of the curve in a way that is detrimental to them in the moment, right? They did that with the Kinect, they did that with DRM and digital and always online, and now they're doing it with physical media. And it isn't to say that physical media is the primary way that people play and buy games. Like, I think that the data is pretty evident that, you know, anywhere between 80 to 85% of games sold are digital. I do think that is overblown in the sense that accounts for all games sold, right? And there are games that are purely only sold digitally and not available physically. And a lot of those games are, you know, purchased on Steam and PC and things like that. So it kind of skews the number. But I think for PlayStation and Xbox, they report kind of on any quarter, Sony can kind of be 70, 75% digital, up to 80%. Whilst Xbox is known to have a stronger lean to digital, which is driven by Game Pass and, of course, their Series S console. So when you look at this split, if we're estimating that the Xbox is sold, let's just say 30 million units, which is probably on the higher end. It's probably 25 to 30.
Yep.
I think reports were saying that 50%, 60% of those were Series S's, right? Which only leaves 10 to 15 million Xbox consoles that have a disc drive in them. Everything else is digital.
Because now there's a Series X that is a digital edition as well.
Then there's also the 2 terabyte Series X digital, which is now more expensive in the US than the PS5 Pro. But I think they believe, like, I'm just looking at some data analytics, that they're reportedly 75% of Xbox Series sales in 2025 were digital-only models. So not only are Xbox selling less and less each quarter, the ones they are selling are digital. And this is, again, come at a time where Game Pass is the primary method that people consume and play games on Xbox, right? If you think Game Pass is at about 30 million 30 million subscribers, inclusive of PC. But I would dare say probably about 20 million, 15 to 20 million of those are Xbox players, right? At the console owners, right? And there's probably about 10 or 15 million on PC. So what does that tell the retailers? That the consoles don't buy discs, don't need discs. The gamers don't buy games. They use Game Pass primarily. Why are we advocating this product when their competitors in Nintendo and PlayStation primarily sell disc drive consoles and still supporting of physical media? Xbox in parts of the world have stopped printing discs. Some games launched digital only. I think Hellblade 2 didn't have a disc at launch. So with all that in mind, it kind of disillusions the retailers to stock new stuff and actively promote selling when there isn't the additive bonus that there used to be in the old world, where we sell the console and people would come to us for the games and we would apply a margin on top of, you know, whatever it cost to give us a disc. We would make $20 a game. We remember, right? Working in retail, like, get the game for 60, you sell it for 80. If you got a price match it to 70, whatever, you're making $10, $15 a game en masse.
And the consoles are negative to...
Yeah, the console was always at cost, and that was at a negative to the OEM, but to the store maker, to the EB Games or the game traders, it was a break-even cost. But you knew that when people bought a console, they likely brought a controller and some games, right? And that's where you would make money, and that's where Sony and Microsoft would make money as well. So with Microsoft making that pivot, and also selling less and also increasing their pricing, I think it's just come to the point where the retailers are like, well, there's no benefit in us holding this product anymore.
Yeah.
So that's my view on it. I don't know if you've got, you know, pull at any thread that you want to from that.
Like, okay, so not stocking the console at all, but like, are they just going to do stock take and clearance on the games that they already sell? pretty much. Because I mean, when I think of games that just came out, like Silent Hill F just came out, you know what I mean, and that is a physical copy, as I said before. Like that's it's a bit weird that they're just not even offering that to customers. I mean, like
Hmm.
one retailer is surely going to have it as delivery only as a price, but to actually not have it on the shelves is a bit weird. And then also, if you're saying that the Series S itself is a console that is primarily a sale point, like where is a customer going to have access to this if they want to buy one?
And that's the important thing. So, like, I've just
Yeah,
jumped onto EB Games website. Like, so the Xbox banner has been taken down. You can still kind of click into the sub menu, click on consoles, and Xbox is listed there as well as games as well. But they are
yeah,
very much not seen on the front page. So I think it's one of those catch-22s where it's like they're going to still actively sell it, but I don't think they're going out of their way to put that as the first thing that people see.
yeah,
And I think Microsoft is banking big on electronic retailers to just carry the new Xbox, particularly if it is, which it's guaranteed at this point to be a PC hybrid. So places like JB Hi-Fi, Harvey Norman, Good Guys would stock it alongside laptops and other things. But I
yeah.
think
I think
going into next
that's where
generation,
it's going.
yeah, I think going into next generation, I would predict that the lifetime sales of the next Xbox would be 10 to 15 million
Yeah, I don't see
at
it being
best.
better than what it is
No.
now. I think it's slowly going into the Wii U territory, but only because it's actually going into a more competitive market.
They're
When you
getting
think
pushed
of,
from both sides, right? They're going into
yeah,
a PC market while
yeah,
Steam is about to. They've got Steam OS, they've got Steam Deck, and they're rumored to be developing a console. So it's like they've
yeah,
escaped Sony. All right, we can't compete with Sony. Let's do handhelds, PC handhelds, and PC hybrid
yeah,
and PC like devices. And then when they've gone to do that, they've looked over the other side, and then Steam's like on the other side going, well, we're going to enter in.
like
And
poking through the fence.
yeah,
Howdy, neighbor.
yeah. So they're kind of getting squeezed on both ends.
Yeah. At that point, do you even offer? I'm curious to know what this Xbox OS for the handheld is. That's another thing because we were talking about that how that's going to be quite interesting and how they're going to market it because it's also going to be a Windows device, but the library of you could technically have Steam on it. So what's going to happen there? But yeah, like the ROG Ally is one of many handheld PC handhelds. Like you got the MSI Claw,
Well,
the
Lenovo.
Lenovo Legion Go. You got the Steam Deck. There's actually you're actually going into, like I said, a more competitive market with that. So saying 10 to 15 million units, I'm probably gonna say yes. Like you're right.
And that's the
If anything,
hardcore, right? That's the
yeah,
hardcore Xbox players that have been there from the beginning. And I was watching a video today by Moore's Law's Dead, who's the guy who's got ties into like these manufacturing, has been able, he leaked the PS5 Pro, he's leaked a lot of the Xbox Series, no, the next generation Xbox as well as PS6 and the handheld Sony's doing. And I think he said today that what was the announcement of the pricing, they're not pricing to compete, right? They're not pricing
yeah,
to like take market share away from these other handhelds. I think what they're doing is gone, okay, we are not growing this market share. We've got 10 to 15 million dedicated hardcore Xbox players that will buy our stuff. We are no longer taking a loss on any of these devices. So if those people want to buy an Xbox, have their library come with them, they'll be doing it at a premium or at a cost where Microsoft don't lose money. And I think the ultimate long-term play is to have Xbox UI in a place where perhaps your console games come across with you. That is
yeah,
the only. I mean, if I'm a hardcore Xbox guy that's got all the consoles and games sitting on a shelf, I'd be worried because
yeah, for sure.
Sony's reportedly their next console is going to have a disc drive, will be sold with a version with the disc drive, and you'll be able to buy the disc drive separately, very similar to the PS5 Pro and the disc drive attachment. But I don't see a world where Xbox will do that, right? Because the data showed them that the people who buy an Xbox are buying digital,
Yeah.
and people consume their games via Game Pass. So why have a disc drive at all?
Yeah, and even with Game Pass, it's it's so bizarre in how it works. So for me, like if you're savvy enough, I I subscribe to Game Pass when there's a game that's out that I want to play on it. You know what I mean? And then once I complete the game, I unsubscribe. So I played Claire Obscure Expedition 33 on Game Pass when it came out, and then when I was done with it, unsubscribed, and then bought a physical copy later.
Yeah, and they'd
Yeah,
likely give you the like every time I've done that, they've refunded me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so when I played Hellblade 2. I think I did it with Ori. I've done it a few times because I'm not like in and out every month. It might be every 6 months.
Yeah.
I'll try a game. Like I tried it with Ninja Gaiden Black 2 at the start of this year, and it just wasn't running right on my PC. I said stuff it. I'll just buy it on PlayStation. They gave me a refund for that. I did the same thing with Liza P. I played it originally on Game Pass, just to trial it first this was before I was into all the Souls games. Refund. And again, Hellblade 2, same thing. So it's like I'm literally playing for $1.
Yeah.
Wild.
Games, free games on Xbox. And that being said, like Game Pass is really good for everything.
I would
Like,
kill for. We would have killed for that as kids.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's like games at your fingertips. Why not I think it's like 14 or 17 Australian a month now. I can't remember what it actually is. But it's good if that's your only source of content. You know, you have that in your Steam library, like you're a full PC gamer or full Xbox gamer. Like it's perfect. You know, why would you, and we spoke about what the Series S was back in the day was like $399.
$399 at launch, yeah. No,
Yeah.
$299. PS5 in the US was $299. PS5 base model, no disk drive was $399.
Yeah. Sorry. And our Series S was $499.
If it was $299 US, yeah, about $499, yeah.
It's currently $499 now at JB. So
yes, because the price increase was just in the US.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, $500 plus Game Pass. You know, you get about 2 years of Game Pass before you actually got a PS5. It was great value for money.
But then again, you can buy a PS5 Slim digital for $579. So for that little bit more, you get a PS5, which is a much powerful console.
Yeah, but you still got digital. So it was
You still got digital. Yeah, yep. But then again, you could buy the disc drive to add to it, right? If you wanted. I mean, that's just an example. But what I meant to say in that is that the price divide isn't as great as it was, where it was like $299, and then PS5 was $399 for digital. There was a $100 gap in the US. Now it's kind of like basically non-existent in the US, and here it's close enough where you would go, do I just get the PS5 at that point?
Yeah, I think PS5 has a better reputation of being an actual console.
Yeah.
Not an actual console, you know what I mean? But a console that is supported and is stocked and has a library that's accessible to the public via retail or via digital.
Well, it's interesting now, like when I go on EB's website, right? So I look up consoles or whatever. So PS5, $579 Slim digital. Xbox Series X, so the base X model with the disc drive, $779.
Yeah, ridiculous.
And not available for delivery, only collect from stores. So it would just be stock on hand.
Yeah, they're not getting any new stock.
Wild.
And they won't discount it for clearance like they will their games.
No. So, you know, we're not here advocating for the death of the platform, but I think it's important to kind of go read the room a little bit, know where it's going. I think Microsoft have clearly lost the fight in them. And I think they might just be content being the world's biggest publisher of games and having the service Game Pass be what it is. Enjoy it while it lasts. But I do feel bad for the diehard Xbox fans that own every console. We know people, right? We know those people.
Yeah, Xbox fans. Yep.
Yeah, we can't all make the right decisions in life, clearly, but you all can't be me. But yeah, I think best of luck to them. But it's dire, man. And I know, and you know, like as a physical gamer, like our time will come. But I don't think we're there yet. Again, I think that 75% is heavily skewed. So even if it's 65, or even if it is 70%, 30% is still, I would say, your hardest of hard cores form up a lot of that 30%.
Yeah,
and you want them happy.
Yeah, and I'm a big advocate for physical media, whether or not it's a whether or not it's from a personal perspective, finding it from different retailers with competitive pricing, whether it's buying it and then trading it in later to fund another game. Like
Borrowing.
these are things that I really appreciate because if you have it in a if I have a physical library, I was able to trade in or sell that stuff to afford my Switch 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It
Like,
becomes part of the way people consume and play games.
yeah, exactly. Because there's, for example, like if I buy Trails, I'll buy it physically because I probably will not replay that game again, and it's just going to sit there idle. Like I'd rather give that to someone else who would like to play it for a cheaper price, and then
And I
it's a
think,
win-win.
yeah,
Makes it for the developer.
and as much as people buy things online, I think we still cannot underestimate the importance of a store presence.
Exactly.
For just the what it unlocks in the person's brain. Maybe they don't buy it physically in store. Maybe they buy the game digitally on whatever. But that presence of it's on the shelf, being visible
Yeah.
in all
You
parts of
see
your
it.
life.
You just look at it. You pick it up, look at the cover, being like, oh,
Yeah.
interesting. I'll
Yeah.
check out the trailer later. What
Yeah.
we used to do.
Yeah, exactly. So best of luck, Xbox. And keep fighting that fight.
Yeah. You find the good fight, sir.
All right, let's pivot. Let's pivot to our friends in blue. PlayStation held their state of play. This is our first, I think, probably the most closest to a news episode that we've ever done. Primarily because I think these are important things to talk about. Like, we're not a news show, but we don't often get states of play. And when we do, we don't rarely get some announcements from first parties. So, given there's some cool things here, given the Australian angle of the EB Games Xbox thing, I thought we would touch on it this week. But state of play was last week. Take it away, Vinny. Talk to me about anything that interests you, any game that you want to touch on.
Okay. I don't know if you understand from like also TGS and PlayStation, the amount of farming games that are coming out, farming simulator games. Like, what is going on with this world? Is this the Candy Crush of?
They're all on the Switch too. Like, have you noticed every Nintendo Direct there is like 5 farming simulators being shown.
Yeah, I do not see the appeal. Like, one is fine. It's just now everyone's just there's a competitive market that everyone's going for now. I don't understand, but yeah, you had like Power, Petite Planet, and Nimwala Nook or some shit. But it's a lot. But one game that caught my I think it was in the state of play. It was Demi and the Fractured Dream. Or was that the TGS?
That might have been TGS. That doesn't. It's not jumping to my mind. But yeah, it's alright. Go tell us about it.
It kind of had a bit of a. It was giving Wind Waker vibes. The best way to describe it.
What's it called? Demi.
Demi and the Fractured Dream.
Not Demi Lovato.
It looked like a cell shaded action RPG. Bit of a, even like a little bit of dungeon inspired works, and then also even the little things like you grab an item and you pick it up. Like when you obtain an item, they literally grab it up with 2 hands and like put it up to the screen. And I was like, oh yeah.
I think this was part of Xbox's TGS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that game was interesting. I did watch a bit of a video that kind of wrapped every game that was announced this week, and it was some from there, some from this. Wolverine. Finally.
Yeah.
That's PS5, baby.
It's happening. There's
It's been, was it 4 years?
It was announced alongside Spider-Man 2, right? That was that banger showcase where it was like back to back Insomniac, right? And it had Ratchet as well. It was like, whoa. And yeah, it's been 4 years, right? Like, it's been a long time. The game's lost directors. It got part of Insomniac had that massive leak, so a lot of gameplay and story parts of the game were leaked. And, you know, games aren't pretty in alpha, right? So it kind of sent, I think the games had this negative aura this entire time.
Yeah, and like you said, lost developers in a bit of a developer hell is what we call it. It wasn't fun, but you know the game looked good. It looked
great.
Looked great visually. Gameplay, given that it's Insomniac, Spider-Man kind of flavor with a little bit of like almost like just the way he rips through people. I just can't explain it, but he just the fighting style and the cinematics of how he does it looked very, very good.
Yeah, I instantly got excited when it seemed to me like this isn't going to be an open world game. it
Yeah.
seems very much level, like Uncharted, right?
Yeah.
A very
Yeah.
violent kind of old school approach, but more linear, like single player affair.
Which
And
I don't mind. I like that.
I think that is perfect, because if it was just another open world superhero game made by Insomniac, like, okay, he doesn't swing, but he runs really quick. Like,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? Maybe he rides a motorbike, right? And just plays like Days Gone. But if this is like the Last of Us-ification of a Marvel game, and it's story driven, darker tone, gory, clearly gory,
Very
and
gory.
I think Wolverine. I think if the combat system, it's funny when I was looking, I was trying to like read what the combat system would be. It seems like the camera's very close, like God of War 2018 level, close to the back of Wolverine from the very small clips that we saw.
Yeah.
But I think there could be a really cool kind of, not Souls-like, but some sort of like parry system. Maybe
Yeah. Puts up his claws.
yeah, like maybe like a hybrid of the Spider-Man Arkham combat system, but bit more push and pull with the kind of like a perfect parry and things like that to really push it. I think it's really cool, right? Because I think combat will have to be more of a focus than it was in Spider-Man, right? Because it's Spider-Man's all about open world, the movement, the swinging,
Web slinging. Yeah.
stealth, right? Wolverine doesn't really have that.
He just goes in.
I
He
mean,
goes in, guns blazing.
It could have like, like he has like super smell, so it could maybe instead of the Spidey sense, he kind of sniffs things. I'm sure that's in the game. Like he will have like a like the Arkham view type thing.
That little, the trigger.
But he's sniffing the enemies down, so you could have stealth segments. But I just think that you need to have this be a very visceral gameplay focused game with a really cool story. And so I think with that, it's going to mean the game's combat is much more refined than the standard Arkham Spider-Man affair. It just has to be.
Yeah, I agree. I think what you're on the money with it being more of a God of War. I could see it being more like that, very linear, over the camera. Like you pretty much nailed it, actually. But it's almost like he's studied Sony before and Insomniac. It's almost like he knows what's going on.
Nearly, yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, like, I think there's still room to be skeptical because of how long it's been, but
Yeah.
I think Insomniac hasn't missed since Fuse on PS3, which is their game they made with EA. I don't know if you remember. It was a multiplayer game.
Them?
Yeah, it was. So they broke away from Sony and tried to do things independently, and it was announced as a game called. It was announced under a different title name, and then EA kind of took over as publisher, and it became. I think it was like Overshock, over something. I don't know if you can find it for me, but then it became Fuse. And with that the art style changed as well, and it became a lot more like dark, gritty PS3 era co-op game.
Wow.
Can you find the original name? Is that on there? Does that come up?
No, I can't find it.
It's gonna annoy me. Fuse game original name.
No, look, I'm just doing a quick little viewer here. I couldn't find it,
It's alright.
but knowing you'd probably find it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna type it on here because my laptop's click clacking. Original name. What is it? It's like over something. Overstrike. God, it was in there. It was in
knew
there.
it.
I was like Overture, not Overture. It was over something. Overstrike. Yeah, and then it became dark, gritty, third-person shooter multiplayer game. And besides that, it was banger after banger with Insomniac.
Yeah,
so
true.
I'm sold. So yeah, I think Wolverine was obviously the very big announcement. The other one for me was Saros. Housemarque Games, the follow-up to Returnal. I loved Returnal when it launched to this day. And I think what I'm excited by this game, it does look like Returnal 2 or 2.0, but I think what they're
Is it a roguelike?
It is roguelike, but their whole kind of pitch is come back stronger. So I think some of the criticism people had of Returnal, it didn't have and I can agree to some extent, it didn't have like the progression of power that I think is needed on some level for a rogue light like game. You just kind of had to get good. So
Yeah.
I think this whole comeback stronger thing is going to be more of a. I mean, that's a very. It means something to say that. So I think that they've kind of learned from that, and perhaps you're getting this progression of power each time. And I think Hades does a really good job of this, and you would know more than most, right? And it also seems they're going to lean into telling more of a story. I mean, Returnal had a really cool story, but it was kind of like in the weeds. You had to go out of your way to look for it and understand it. But if this could tell a really cool narrative and also give me that progression that I think Returnal was lacking in some regards, I think, I'm totally pumped for Saros.
Yeah, nice. I didn't know it was made by Housemarque. I didn't realize it was the same people. I got to play Returnal. I feel like I should really do that. That's on the list. But you got Metal Gear. I really hope 2026 is a shit year for games, so I actually have some time to play my backlog. But who knows?
Not gonna happen. I mean,
exactly.
I think 2026 is just another crazy year, right? You're gonna have Grand Theft Auto in the mix. Sony alone will have obviously Wolverine and this, and maybe even Token Fighters as well. Plus, there was the rumored God of War Metroidvania game that was clearly pulled from. I don't know if you noticed that during the State of Play, they just were like announcing for the God of War's 20th anniversary, and it was just the controller.
The controller, yeah.
And it just seemed like there was a trailer missing. So I'm like,
yeah.
Someone sent a file over to Jeff Keighley and like, all right, you can have this for Game Awards, fine. Clearly.
Yeah, it was definitely something that was missed, and I did see that where it's like, oh, it's a cool controller. I'm like, this normally gets paired with something else.
With an announcement,
and it's like, and to celebrate, we're doing a controller. It's like Astrobot. It's like celebrate Astrobot. We're doing the Astrobot controller.
Yeah.
But one of the more, I guess, interesting games that caught my eye was called Ananta, Ananta. It was who was the studio that did it?
What is it?
Antana, Anata.
Okay, I'm just googling it. Click clacking away.
Ananta. Yep.
Oh, the Sony clone.
The everything game.
Yes, NetEase.
Yeah.
It had a bit of Uncharted 4 in it, a bit of Spider-Man 2 in it.
A bit of Spider-Man, bit of a little bit of GTA, a little bit of like just life sim game part.
Yeah.
I watched the trailer. I'm like, what is this game? And then apparently everyone else had the exact same idea as me because a couple of the YouTube comments were funny. It was just like, one of the YouTube comments I quite enjoyed was like, can't believe they made the sequel to every single video game
ever.
And then it's like, which genre is this game? Yes.
Video games.
Yeah. One guy to me, it's like, give the players what they want. That's it.
Yeah. Definitely Sony's. I mean, Sony went after that Horizon game.
Yeah.
It's literally the animations being pulled. Like, it's the swinging animation, it's the free falling animation, it's the Venom move where he grabs the enemies and smashes them to the ground, and then it's the Uncharted 4, dragging Nathan Drake at the back of the Ute segment. Like, it's wild.
Yeah, it was crawling in the vents as well. It was very much Spider-Man. Like, it was just a lot of everything. I was like, okay, I guess
wasn't part of the State of Play for obvious reasons, but I think it was shown during that time. It would have been at TGS. The State of Play kind of happened in amongst. There was like State of Play, there was Xbox TGS, there was TGS in general. Then they had the Kojima thing where Kojima announced his Xbox published game OD Knock.
Yeah. And
then showed a poster. I don't know if you saw the poster for Physint.
No.
Oh, Google it. So Physint, Physint, I think it is. So this is Kojima's next game being made in collaboration with PlayStation Studios. It's his return to stealth action. What more can I say? It's the Metal Gear successor. The game everyone wants him to make. All that's been shown so far is a poster, plus the announcement of the collaboration with Sony. And I think they're going to make a movie. People are suggesting that the main character is being played by... what's his name? Edward Cullen. What's his name?
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson. Patrick Stewart. Robert Pattinson. There was a photo of him with Kojima, so people are, I think they've spoken about him wanting to be in a game and things like that. So people are guessing that's him, and apparently the art kind of looks like him as well. But yeah, this is Kojima returning to stealth action. So, I mean,
Yeah.
match made in heaven. But
Good fave.
yeah, state of play was good. The PlayStation wireless speakers was an interesting announcement.
Yeah, you said you might actually pick those up.
Yeah, I've got some very basic PC speakers, and I kind of like Sony tech. Like I've got the PlayStation, obviously the PlayStation headphones. I've got the Pulse wireless earbuds, the Portal, and they come with this. The technology they use is like this. I don't know what the actual tech's called. It comes with this little adapter. And the adapter that you plug into either your console, sorry, I moved away from the mic there for a second, plug into your console or your PC, and it basically acts as like a seamless Bluetooth type system that's apparently doesn't have any delay. So like the Portal will automatically connect to it, and these speakers will do the same thing. So ideally you'd have these devices throughout the house that, you know, if I pick up the Portal and was to come into this room or had these speakers in other parts of the house, it would just automatically connect as a set of speakers.
That's cool. Yeah.
So I'm actually thinking about getting these, right, and putting these in my bedroom. Not telling my wife. And then, like, if I want to play games in bed, I grab the Portal, go into the room, and then use these as, like, surround sound speakers in the bedroom.
Yeah, that'll be great for your wife.
She'll love that. So, I mean, it's interesting. I like the idea of PlayStation. They're kind of doing this. They've got their I think it's InZone, which is their PC hardware brand, and that's where you've got the InZone headphones and their monitors. They announced the Fighting Stick last time as well. The Flex Strike or something along those lines. I like that they just make stuff, you know?
I do like that they make tech. And especially Sony is a brand that does sound very well. You know, they were a sound brand originally before they were anything else.
Yeah.
You know, Sony Walkman. Very iconic. But when it comes to like the actual state of play, like also I guess for me, other than Wolverine, it didn't really hit anything. Like OD was there.
No.
But no,
Saros was there.
Saros was there, sorry. Yeah, it just didn't really hit for me.
Yeah.
Like, granted, didn't watch a massive I just watched a recap, and I was like, just looking through these games, I'm like, okay. Oh, Wolverine.
It was missing one more big announcement in the middle. Like, it had Saros at the front, Wolverine at the end, and it was only a 30-minute state of play. I actually felt that I watched it live, and I'm like, this went really quickly. I wasn't bored at all. Like, it was just bang, 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 bang. It just needed something in the middle.
Which would have been that God of War.
Which would have been, and it wouldn't even necessarily, I would have been happier, in quotes, with like, it didn't even have to be an exclusive game, but some sort of like new game announcement somewhere in the middle of scale. Like, I'm like, oh great, you're bringing back Dynasty Warriors, but whatever. But like something meaningful in quotes.
Someone with got some cachet,
but
some legacy.
I have come to the realization, and I think we've spoken about this, or we might speak about this at some point. It's kind of like we've passed, because of how many games are being made and how long they take to make and the way games are announced. It's done. Like, the era of, you know, I was thinking back I was looking at my video game wall, and I'm like, man, Naughty Dog released Uncharted 1, 2, 3, and Last of Us on one generation.
Yeah.
They announced and released Uncharted 4 Lost Legacy and Part 2 Last of Us on PS4. This generation, we've got a remake and a remaster, and we haven't gotten anything thus far, and we'll likely get Intergalactic at the end of the generation. So it's just, everything's all out of whack. I find myself these days so much more excited by third party and smaller games. Like, you look like, obviously, I played through Metal Gear, but I love Shinobi, love Ninja Gaiden. I'm playing a Trails game. I'm excited for a Digimon game. Like, they're not...
Yeah.
I'm a very different gamer than I was, I think, in that PS3, PS4 generation, where I think I literally had the way games were coming out was kind of like AAA game to another AAA game to a PlayStation exclusive. Bang, 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 bang. Well, now it's like AAA game, indie game, AA game, maybe one more indie game, then another AAA game. Like, and I actually like that because I feel like I'm getting a breadth of. Like this year, I've played 2D Metroidvania hack and slash games. I played a French turn-based RPG. I played a remake of my favorite game of all time. I'm playing a first entry remake in a long-running RPG series. Like I like that I'm playing a Digimon game next, you know. But then I'm also getting Ghost of Yotai. You know, like I like that I've just there's games everywhere. You just need to know where to look.
Yeah, you got your first parties, you got your third parties, you got your indies. Like we've spoke about this before, being a big year for indies, and you know the three game Hades, Silksong, and Clair Obscur being probably like the triple threat of this year, personally for indies. And it's been fantastic, but also like you said, we got. I think are we, not manifesting, but we are just our own design, or we're catering to our own design because that's what the developers are giving us. Well, that's what the companies are giving us. You know what I mean? Like you've adapted to this style of video game playing and like the genres you play because it's what is available to you. You know what I mean? There's not three Uncharted's coming out on one console anymore.
Yeah, exactly. There's more space between games and there's also more games. So it's just meant that there's space in between.
Differently.
There's space in between. Like I was looking back at the PS3 library, and it is literally what was at the time AAA, 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 AAA. And there was some rare exceptions where I would try an indie game. We spoke about Shovel Knight, for instance, but now I plan out my year, and in between these big games, I have these indie games lined up, and I enjoy them as much, if not sometimes more, than some of the AAA games. Like, I'm so excited to play the Digimon game that it was like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do now because Ghost is coming out, and I probably would have played them both in tandem because they're different enough where I'm like, I'm not going to get the controls messed up in my mind.
Yeah.
Now that I've got Trails, I probably will do Ghost because I feel like I'll separate Digimon and Trails to give myself a bit of a palate cleanser. But I like that. I like that I can do that. Like, I just don't feel like maybe they were there and I just wasn't there myself. But I feel like now it's just there's more options.
Yeah. I think it doesn't get cast away side, or it doesn't get overshadowed every year by the other games that came out annually. You know what I mean? If you had Uncharted coming out every 2 years,
Assassin's Creed, remember? Like that was every year.
Yeah. And then you got your Battlefields, Call of Duty, FIFAs, whatever. I mean, they're annual because they're cash cows. But yeah, you wouldn't have your games that came out that were like almost first party, or even like first party developers that had that hook. Now we have, like you said, breathing room. So we are actually a lot more spaced out on what we can deliver and what we can consume. So like, I think I told you before, like JRPGs are probably my favorite genre. Roguelites are actually starting to come up there, but I think JRPGs will always be my favorite genre, but they're just too long to play it. But the space that I'm getting in between content is spaced off enough where, I'll be playing three or four JRPGs this year if you count, I guess, Clair Obscur. But I've played enough in between. I've played a roguelite. I've played Silksong, which is a Metroidvania. I've played first party action. I've played JRPGs. I've played action RPGs. You know, there is a lot of everything. Rhythm game. You name it, it's out there and available.
Yeah.
And it's well advertised too, which is what you're talking about. You know, were you there? Or you just had the blinders on? No, it's always been there, but now we have the time to play it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's hard. Yeah.
Well, that's probably a great pin to put on it. Is that the put a pin on it? Put a pin on it. Put a pin in it. What is the?
Yeah. Stick a pin in it.
Stick a pin in it. I'm cooked, Jerry. Great way to
stick a fork in me. I'm done.
That's the one. that's a great, I think, runaway segue to our soft exit of today's episode. But no, I think that's awesome. I think video games it's. I think I've spoken about this before. It's like I've never been more into playing games than I am right now. And the older I've gotten, the more I'm like actively going, no, this is my thing, and like there's nothing else that I'd rather be spending my time doing in terms of like selfish entertainment, you know.
Yeah. Selfish time is important. Like me time is playing video games or watching a show.
Yeah.
But it's more video games these days.
And Nathan's like, he did it today too, like pulled me into my theater and grabbed a controller and sat down, and I just looked at my wife, well, Naomi, and I'm like, I got him. And now we've got a second boy on the way. So it's like,
you need 3 controllers.
my poor wife, she said to me today, she's like, there would be no dolls, there would be no tying hairs in a bow, there'd be no cute dresses. Instead, more video games. What will my son be called? Sully, perhaps?
Sully.
Sully.
Drake, no.
Drake, no. Can you imagine if I called my son Sully? Nathan and Sully.
That's my partner's nephew's name.
Comes out with a mustache and a cigar and a Hawaiian shirt, and we're good to go.
Yeah, that's it. Perfect. Do
Done.
it.
There you go. Spoiled the name. But thank you for joining this fortnight's episode of Dodge, Parry Roll. If you haven't already, please consider like and subscribing, and let us know in the comments. 1, your favorite tea. 2, is Xbox dead? And 3, what's our third one? What did we just talk about?
A game.
What did you think of the state of play? Man,
Yeah, that one.
we covered a lot. It's good. It was just we just fly
Shoot from the hip.
Fly from the corner of the street. That's what I like to say. The old,
That's what you like to say. No one else.
I say it a lot. But thank you for joining. Vinny, any final words? If not, send us away.
May the power protect you.
Goodbye.